American Mortgage, friend of the show, also hosts Mortgages and More. The Dow futures were down big overnight. The Dow just opened up. We're plus 42, so we're up at least a little bit on the news. What's happening with the markets?
Well, initially everybody said everything's going to crash. There's instability. He's going to spend all kind of money, starting to lower the tax rates, and we're going to be in a situation where inflation's going to go up and interest rates are going to shoot up. Now we see the Dow going up. So it sounds like the stock market is reflecting the election. They don't know what the heck is going to go on. And here we are in for a surprise and things are going up. Right now, rates are actually going upward. There was a steep incline late last night, and the Treasury bills are actually right now at 1.961, which is up about 1/8 of a percentage from yesterday. So it's showing an increase in those rates, but I think things are going to calm down a little bit here towards the day, and I think there's still the opportunity to go ahead and take advantage of those.
Yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily good or bad. It's just a shock because everybody thought she was going to win.
It's a shock to the system. She represented to the market some kind of stability, whether it was good or bad. It's going to be a certain way.
Right.
Trump, nobody knows what's going to happen long term, so they have some instability.
You taught me when you're refinancing a house or taking money out of the house or buying a home, the interest rate is important, but the fees are just as important.
I talked to somebody yesterday. They were getting an interest rate of 3.5% on their note. Their annual percentage rate was over 6%.
What?
6%. So they're walking around saying, hey, I'm getting a rate of 3.25. Hey, I'm getting a rate of 3.25. And they brought me what's called a loan estimate. And on the loan estimate, it says 6.017 as an APR, which means they're paying all kinds of costs to get that 3.25% interest rate. Well, that's no great deal.
Right. Mm-hmm. How much were they paying? They must have been paying $10,000.
Well, it was a high loan amount, and it was paying something like $15,000 at the end of the day. And
so what you're saying is you could do that same loan with a similar interest rate and save them all those fees.
Well, you can get an interest rate. I think our interest rate was about 1/4% higher than what that person had proposed.
Right.
But there's no fees. It's the bagel loan. It's zero closing costs. So it doesn't matter what your note rate is when you go to refinance. It matters what your annual percentage rate is, because that's when all the costs come in. So, if I'm selling you a car for $10,000 and I'm going to tell you pay $100 a month, but you got to pay me $9,000 up front, it's no great shakes.
That's a good point. Stewart's American Mortgage. When we call you, we only work with you?
Me personally, I handle everything. I'm the president and CEO of the company. You talk to me directly. That's my cell phone number.
You've been doing it how long?
Almost 30 years.
You love financing people who've been told they can't do it, right?
I talked about it day and night, and everybody I talked to complains. When one person I took to the ball game said, "Oh my God, he went to the ball game and all he did was talk about mortgage." I love what I do, and I love giving people the opportunity to get the lower rates.
314-324-4440. Good man, Stuart Rosenblum. Zero closing costs. It's the bagel loan. Call him. He'll explain it. Stewart'sAMC.com. Stuart, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me in.
8:36. We're keeping one eye on a ballroom in New York City. Hillary Clinton is about to join and speak to the country. We'll carry that live, but this is the end of the Clinton empire. The Clintons are no more after this stunning rebuke from the country. We'll go to her as soon as she starts speaking. 8:36.